You are listening to the Hiking Radio Network, where we talk the walk with shows by hikers, about hikers, for everybody.
Mighty Blue on the Appalachian Trail, the ultimate midlife crisis. Join Steve and his guests every week as he staggers from Georgia to Maine.
Hi, and thanks so much for coming back again to Mighty Blue on the Appalachian Trail, the ultimate midlife crisis, where we've tried to follow my journey in 2019 of the Appalachian Trail. And this was always intended to be the last day. So to keep some sort of similarity with what we've done before, this is day number 179, Katahdin Stream Campground, mile 2186.8 to Baxter Peak, mile 2192, and the northern terminus of the Appalachian Trail. Let's, as I told you yesterday, let's hear my kind of impromptu recordings that I've made while I was on the way up. I've made, 5, 10, 12, 13, 14, something like that. Different recordings, some as little as 30 seconds, some much, much larger. Just trying to give you some feeling of what it's like to do the trail. I'm sitting in a hotel room tonight, or motel room tonight, waiting for my flight tomorrow. I feel a bit flat after this. It's exhausting, and I'm by myself, and just had plenty of food and drink, and probably for the last time I can do this without putting on any weight. But let's hear what happened the very first thing this morning, because I had a complete disaster, as you're about to hear. Well, I'm in Katahdin Stream Campground. It's now 7:56 or 7:54 a.m. Expected to be a bit earlier. Big line of cars when we got here, unfortunately. Just crossing a little bridge to get to back to the trail. It's only about another 20 yards. We had a disastrous start I had a disastrous start this morning. I was walking down the stairs to go to breakfast with Trigger at about 5:15 this morning. I wasn't quite awake, and I tripped up and fell the last 2 or 3 stairs, banged and bruised and cut my knee and my elbow and my arm rather. And Trigger was laughing all the way to the breakfast. But I'm okay. My right arm's a bit sore, but I'll live. But we're about to start out now. This is a most beautiful day. We can only see sun. It is absolutely glorious. And I'll be checking in with you every now and then to tell you how it's going. Okay, we just signed in. It's 8 o'clock. We've started up the trail. It's a kind of gravelly path. I can tell you, I'm kind of nervous already. Don't know what it is. Something we've been wanting to do for obviously a long time. That was our first steps. I've been puffing and panting before long. The nerves are definitely within me. We're going alongside a beautiful waterfall, and there's a couple of routes to negotiate, but they're fine. As I say, and I think I've said this a few times before, that hiking, the backpacking, is certainly exponentially improved by hiking in decent weather. And this is a completely clear blue sky today. The sun's beating down. We're now in a tree, so the sun's not hitting us directly. There's a feeling of anticipation about what the trail's going to bring us today. Hopefully it's the closure, I guess, that everybody wants when they take on this journey. It's that picture at the top of Katahdin. It's that feeling of accomplishment of a job well done. And I will have completed this if I complete today, which I hope I will. in less than 6 months, which is quicker than last time. Not that I was racing. As we've said on the show, actually on the trail many times, last one to Katahdin wins, and it feels that way. You know, you make your own time for it. You can't rush the mountain. The mountain you've got to come to the mountain. It doesn't come to you. So we're starting to move up a little bit. You're going to hear a lot of puffing and panting in this, I tell you. I've not even hit any difficult climb yet. Oops, nearly went there. And now we're hitting more and more rocks. But it's still nice and easy. And I'll report back soon. We're at Qatar Falls, about a mile and a quarter into it. We've just crossed where the falls becomes a little easier to cross. There was a bridge before, that's disappeared. So we had to get across that. Bit of rock hopping, but it was easy enough, and certainly one of the easier ones we've done. So I didn't find that to be any issue at all. But we're making progress, and I feel we're going quite well. You can probably hear the waterfall in the background. But so far it has been, as I recall last time, a whole lot easier than I would have imagined it was going to be, and it's going well. Well, after the waterfall, we've been climbing steadily ever since. Trigger's just about to take a picture of me. We've been climbing steadily ever since. How high are we, Trig, and how far have we gone? Can you look on gut hooks and let you know? Carry on, please come through. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt people hiking, but I'm out of their way now, so it's okay. So after the waterfall, we've been climbing quite consistently, and there were rocks, and then there were roots, and then there were steps. The steps, I mean, the work that's gone into this is just quite remarkable. How much stuff they've put into this place to make it accessible to everybody. And then when we got over some of that, there was a sandy patch, quite flat, with some rocks embedded in the centre. So almost, if it is wet, you can then go from rock to rock. And there was a lot of rain yesterday, so the stream became a bit of a waterfall. Not the stream, the path became a bit of a waterfall, and we've just been walking up quite a lot. Well, so now it's now 8. No, it's not. It's 9:33 a.m. and we've done a bit more. We're just about to go above Treeline for the first time, and I know that's spectacular. But we've already had a lot of scrambling up boulders for the last, I don't know. Well, we're in Treeline for the last half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile, and it's not been easy. There's a lot of people on the mountain, and everybody's having a great day because it's just so glorious out here. But hopefully the wind isn't catching this mic too much. This is a test, no question about it, and the test is about to get harder because we're about to go above Treeline for the first time. And I'll tell you what that's like in a minute. I don't know how well this is going to record because the wind is really gusting around now. We've got above Treeline, and the climbing is almost vertical. There's rebar here, but the view is staggering all around us to see these mountains. We can see for miles and miles, and we're nowhere near the top, obviously. But we really are. This is an almost vertical climb, and there's rebar, and we're holding on, and there's a bunch of kids on here. Quite a laugh at me, to be honest with you, with these youngsters, but they're doing it, yeah. And I have to go because it's really blowing hard now. I'm trying to stand upright. All right, speak soon. Difficult to tell if we're over most of the rock scramble. I think we probably are, actually, and it was tough but beautiful. And we got up here relatively easy, don't you think, Trig? It was pretty easy. There were a couple of moments which were quite scary, but now we've got a very, very steep path ahead of us, which I think gets us to the tablelands. So there's no question this is a difficult thing to do, but it's very doable, and there's lots of youngsters I love anyway, the fact that they're trying their hardest to just enjoy the journey themselves. And we're now at this flattish area for about 100 yards or 80 yards before the rocks just rise up in front of you, and you're on the top, and you're pushing up towards the tablelands, and it's I'm looking around now, there must be 30 lakes I can see, and they all look darn magnificent. I'm now looking the other side, which you're probably going to get a noise of the wind, maybe not. What do you think then so far, Tree? Tell us what you enjoyed it so far?
Yes, I love the rock climbing part. I just enjoy it.
It's less. Do you think it's less tiring?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as hot.
Not at all. Yeah, we've actually
cool
put our jackets on because it's sunny, but it's very cool up here now, and you can hear the breeze around, I'm sure. But it's quite something. But we're going to head off up this another rock field, but this looks a tad easier, but pretty darn steep. I found another place out of the wind. We're in another rock scramble. There's once you get over the first rock scramble, which was difficult enough, there's I say flatter, but it's still going up. Just wandering through the rocks, and the wind's buffeting you all over the place. I'll turn away. The wind's coming again now, actually. And then you find yourself up another rock scramble to get we're quite near the top of the there's a rock scramble, and there's still a few hundred feet to go, I guess, to get to the tablelands, and it should ease off a little bit, but it still goes up, and there's still a long way to go. I think we're just under 2 miles to go, we said, maybe 1.5 miles to go, but we're getting there, and it's now only 10:34, I think it is, so we've done 2.5 hours. I expect we're going to be another maybe hour and a quarter, but that'd be reasonably respectable. And I keep running out of superlatives about the weather, but I must say there's a dark cloud just hovering above us. Don't like the look of that too much, but we've had to put our jackets on because it's quite cold, but it's still sunny. But this is such an enjoyable climb, so much better than trudging up a path. We're literally hand over hand. I've put my poles away, Trigger's still got his, and I'm just hand over hand climbing, and loving every second of it. I'm doing what I did before, actually. I looked up and there was a brown sign at the top. Oh, that's it, we're there. But in fact, I think this is something to do with the Thorough thing. It looked like a little bit like it when I first saw it. Obviously, I know it's not. We're almost at the tablelands now, and this has been a tough but great climb. I don't think either of us have had any real difficulty getting up here. It's been it's rugged, no question about it, and we are totally out of the wind now, and it is blowing around a gale everywhere around us. And we've got this uninterrupted view. Somebody said you can see Mount Washington in the distance, and I just have no idea where it is, but you can see for 10s, 20s of my 30s of my 40s of miles. I have no idea. But we're in a little respite from the wind right now, having a little bit of a break. I'm going to have some water any second now. I haven't had any water already. I totally forgot about water. And the clouds are definitely coming in above us, but hopefully we're going to have some blue skies still for when we get to the top. But it is glorious. How about that? We're totally exposed now. We're on the tableland. You'd think the wind would be whipping around us. And it's just a gentle, quiet breeze. We're slowly going across the tablelands. At the moment, they're fairly flat. Currently, we've got 700 feet to go. I think I can see the sort of, how about that? The cloud has just gone over the place where I thought the sign was. There's still lots of blue sky about, so I'm still hopeful we're going to get a picture of with the blue sky background. But you know what? We don't. Take what you get up here, and I'm starting to think about, what it's like to do this and hopefully to finish it. I feel quite confident now, having passed through some of that rock scrambling, that I'm going to get there. This is just a gentle path now, although it is going to rise up about another 700 feet eventually. And once again, the cloud has come down a little bit low, but where we are on the tablelands, the sun is out and the wind has just totally stopped. Listen, I'm turning around. There's no wind at all. And I don't know, nature is an amazing thing to with these changes so suddenly. And once again, look at the top of the mountain where I think I can see the people around the side is clearing again. How's that happen? It's quite something. I'm feeling a little bit emotional, I guess. End of a long journey. I'm touching the sign and all those fears of not finishing, which I confess I had myself, will go away. I mean, I still got to get down, but even if I fell on the way down and injured myself, I've still done it. So I still would have done it. And this walk now is so easy, so calm. There are so many people here, and I admire them for making such a trip. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's as physically demanding as. Certainly, I don't think it's as physically demanding as climbing Washington. And do you think so? Washington was more demanding in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been fun. I think that's part of it. It's fun. You really are hand over hand. Poles are away. They're stored on the side of my pack, and I'm just got off the path for a sec. Sorry. And because you're meant to stay dead on the path. They say there's some species of plant here which I found absolutely nowhere else in the world. God knows what they are, but they're nowhere else in the world anyway. And we're meant to stay exactly on the path, which obviously we try to do as much as possible. Interestingly, the hand over hand stuff coming up was you could go several routes around it. There were white mazes, but you could circumvent one or two of those. But generally, we try to follow it as much as we possibly could. And we've really, I think we've enjoyed the day so far. But we're still heading up, and the top is under cloud again. See how it goes soon. Well, we've come across the tablelands and started moving up again. The wind has happily dropped a little bit. I don't know if you can hear this. I've got my jacket on. We should be shielding the mic a little bit, I'm not sure. But we're now climbing up again, a couple of 100 yards from the sign. We've seen it from a distance. We're just past the family on the way down. They're all so excited as they should be. What an achievement for family of 5. And also, we passed Fireball and 5 o'clock and steak. You take what you can get here. We're getting there. Oh man, we're going uphill now, and I don't talk about I'm going uphill. But now we're on a few rock stops, and there's been a lot of rock hopping on this way up here. It's really blowing now. I'm really hopeful you can hear this. And if you ever got the chance to come to Maine, if you ever get a chance to do Katahdin, just be aware there's some kind of hairy climbing for part of it, but the vast majority of it is very doable. And most people, I think, could do it. But it's certainly saps your energy a little bit. But we're getting a little bit high now. I'll come back when I thought I was 200 yards from the sign. I think I am a bit more than that. But I'll be back again soon. Okay, this may ramble on a bit, and it's not meant to, but we're about 150 yards, maybe 100 yards from the sign. It does make you think back to those cold days in late February and early March when we were in Georgia. I met the lovely family, the Malone family. I met I can't remember people's names, to be honest with you. I had my own little trial family for up to halfway through the Smokies, then I lost them, and I know they finished now. And it's been the hot, sticky days of early summer in in Virginia, then the rocks of Pennsylvania, which drove me crazy, to be honest with you. But just kept pushing forward. And then a couple of surprises, the slippery rocks in New York, and they were tough as well. Then Connecticut being better than I thought. Meeting up with Mary and Lynn Savino. It was great to see both those people. I'm now about 50 yards away. Lots of people at the sign. And the cloud moving in and out. And I'm going to touch the sign. I'll touch the sign, then I'm going to film Trigger touching the sign as well. So I just step up to it. And I'm still a couple of yards away. Oh dear. It was very different to perhaps what it felt like 5 years ago. There must be 15, 20 people up here. And they're all just milling around. And so, after 2,192 miles, I'm about to touch the sign. Now, loved it. I did intend talking a bit more at the top. It just got all frantic up there, and we were trying to get pictures, and lots of people trying to get pictures. But it's a great feeling, to get there and succeed and become a two-time through hiker, which I feel great about. And felt great about. It got a bit emotional, but a bit teary-eyed. But he didn't bawl in. He didn't bawl, so he was okay. But the climb down is horrendous. We're finding it much more difficult than the climb up, and that's another reason we haven't talked. The wind has really whipped up, and I'm in quite a quiet spot now. Still all around, but there's more cloud coming over. But I'm looking back up what we've come down. It is fast. Going a bit so much easier. But we're still working still above Treeline, quite a way above Treeline. We've got a lot of rock scrambling to do. So I think I'll probably talk to you next when I get into Treeline. But we stopped for a little rest on the way down. Still, the wind is still rocking up a little bit. But we're below Treeline now, and that was a tough downhill, much tougher than I recall, and also certainly tougher than being on the way up. I was thinking about other things I recall, and my best surprise was seeing T-Bird and Liderknot surprising me and giving us Trail Magic and their respective spouses, Joe rather, and Debbie, and it was such a kind thing for them to do, to come and follow my hike. To be honest with you, I as I kind of guess I would. I'm a kind of mixture of emotions at the moment, because it's over, and there was a relief in the fact that it's over and I didn't die, which is wonderful. But I'll miss it. I feel like I've lost my job, and tomorrow morning I'm going to go and fly home and start whatever I do next. But I feel a bit flatter than I thought I'd feel. It's difficult to articulate how you feel when such a momentous journey's come to an end. And I know that when I did a presentation before, I did about 9 or 10 days after I finished the hike, I really didn't know what to say. I didn't know what it meant to me. I know this has been a special 6 months, and I'm sure that there will come a time when I can more properly articulate what I feel about it. I feel very accomplished again, though. I must say, that is a great feeling. And it's not pride. I just feel like I've done something which is so darn difficult. And at the age of 66, when a lot, just saying the Trigger, he's now a thru hiker, and he's done something that so many people would love to do and say they can't do it because they don't try it. Trigger's 66-year-old. He's an old git like me, So we're two older guys, and we've got up our asses and come out and done it. So there's absolutely nothing you can't do if you put your mind to it. And we've really worked hard at this particularly in the last few weeks, actually. And we put in a lot of miles to try to get it done, and we've done exactly what we said we'd do. And I think that was a good lesson for me, to set a target, set a goal, and try to achieve that goal. But as I say, we're on the way down now. It's getting easier and getting easier. So I feel we can relax. I couldn't relax on the way when we were up there. We actually got lost on the way down as well, which is slightly unimpressive. But yeah, it's over. So that was it. We were done. Our 2192 miles came to an abrupt end, and it's always a strange thing when you finish this hike, and especially having done it before, I do know what that feels like. And I don't know whether you thought it was a worthwhile effort to try to record while I was going up there. It was kind of logistically quite difficult. But I know Trigger kept raising his eyebrows a bit when I kept saying I'm going to stop to record something now. But it was quite difficult with all the wind that was up there. Now, that's the end of this trip. And I don't know whether I'm going to be doing any more hiking in the future. I just don't know. But the normal show, Mighty Blue on the Appalachian Trail, the Ultimate Midlife Crisis, is going to resume again, hopefully next Thursday. I'm not entirely sure I've got the energy at the moment to do anything, but my hope is that I have a new guest and I start reading a new book and all that. And I'd just like to thank you all for sticking with me and hopefully enjoying the show that has taken up the last 6 months of my life and hopefully your lives as well. So I'll finish as I always do, and I'll see you next time.